everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States, which is midday if you're in Australia or 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. Hope everybody's doing well. Hellforge, it's good to see you. Remember guys, if you miss a live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch page, or you can go to my YouTube channel and watch the previous streams that way as well. If you do want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, and you should, there's a section there where you can show off work that you're doing in the gallery. Click that link Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat, or go to the About Me section on my Twitch page, and in the panels at the bottom you will see a blue graphic which will let you join the Discord. We're going to be working on a game called The House in the Hollow, which you can wishlist now on Steam. Again, just click the link Hellforge has helpfully popped into Twitch chat, or go to the About Me page and click on the graphic in the panels at the bottom. If you want to know more about me and who I am, you can go to my website, which is phildoes3d, my Twitch username with a .com on the end. There's links to my social media, my Twitter account, all that sort of jazz. And you can click the link Hellforge popped in chat if you want. Feels dehydrated because it's too hot. Burberry, it's good to see you, and good morning to you too, Hellforge. It's 2 a.m. Central EU. Hellforge is telling me. So late for you. I'm so sorry, Hellforge. I hope you're well. And it's good to see you, Smurf. And Sniper Echo, it's good to see you too. Hi to you as well. I'm going really well. Good to see you guys are too. All them people, that's right. Well, you guys know I don't actually watch my stream while I stream live, so I have no idea how many people are watching me. It could be 2, it could be 0. Well, it won't be 0. It's got to be at least 3 because you guys are in the chat. So anyway, so we're going to continue working on the House in the Hollow game. The kitchen for the building that's in that game is what we're working on now, and we're going to continue with that, I guess. We're nearly ready to jump into Substance Painter, but we're just going to finish one of the models in 3D Studio Max, and that's the oven we were working on yesterday. We were doing vertex coloring. We're going to continue finishing that off, and all we have to do really is the door and the one of the shelves, because we're just going to duplicate the shelves in the game engine. So let's do that. We'll isolate it, collapse the stack, and let's make these little handle bits, I don't know, a yellow, mustard yellow, and this bit will make a green, and the door will make an aqua blue, and then the frame around the door will make a pink, because why not? Everybody likes pink, don't they? Let's turn on our vertex coloring so we can make sure we've got everything. Now we're not going to do the glass because that'll be a separate shader inside of the Unreal Engine. And I need to select one of those. Okay, now this is an edit now. I'm not sure if we UV mapped all of these, one of these, because it was a while ago we did the oven, so I'm just going to convert that to a poly and throw an unwrap down, and we'll see if it's actually UV mapped. And it does not look like it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Hellforge says, I've only heard 1 or 2 songs from her and it wasn't something I'm into, to be honest. What are we talking about? Are we talking about my music? I can't hear it. You guys know that you're the only ones that can hear my music. Oh, Pink. Why are we talking about Pink? I'm not playing Pink, am I? I would hope not. That would be bad. That would be copyright really bad. No, I'm not. I actually quite like Pink's music, I have to say. Asuta, hey, what's up with you, Asuta? Good to see you. Hope you're well. Helpwood says, you said that everyone likes pink. No, I didn't say everyone likes pink. I said I like pink. I like her music. It's girl power. No, she has some good music. But I know she's not to everyone's taste, so. Asuta says, how did your Unreal project go? We're still working on it, Asuta. You're talking about the game, I'm assuming? I don't know the last time that you were in the chat, Isusa, but we worked on the cinematic using the Unreal Engine. That was released, and that was a while ago. But now we're actually making a game in the Unreal Engine, and that's still going. It's due to be released at the end of this year, if that's what you mean. We're still going. This is the kitchen we're working on for that game at the moment. So I'm sure I did UV map one of these things, you know? Asuta says, okay, I was here when I was on that cinema. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we released the cinematic, so that was all done. Now we're turning that cinematic, the building and stuff that you saw in the cinematic, you saw me working on, we're actually making that into a game now. So you can wishlist it now on Steam if you want to check it out. So, just for you, Asuta, I'll show you the Steam store page. So if you want to actually look at what the game is about, you can go to the game store the games page, which is thehouseinthehollow.com, which is this one here. But if you want to actually check the Steam store page out, I'll pop these links in Twitch chat. You can go there. There, thank you very much, Hellforge. There's the Steam link there that Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat, and you can wishlist the game on Steam and find out more about it here. So yeah, there you go. Asuta says, I'm at the moment doing my first Unreal ArchViz project. Cool. So I've modeled inside the Unreal and now doing landscapes for it. Very cool. Are you enjoying working with the engine? I like working with Unreal. I think it's a really nice, really nice game engine to use. Really good artist tools. I've mentioned it before. I've used a few different game engines over my time, and I do like the Unreal Engine a lot. They've done a really good job of it, games. So hopefully you're enjoying it. Now selecting these is a real pain. Asusa says, I model somewhere else, but I'm after realistic results. So I want to put it online. Okay, yeah, no, you guys know Unreal is not really a modeling engine. You've got to model in a 3D program and bring it into Unreal. I think they've added some basic modeling in Unreal now, but I don't use that at all. My advice is if you want to model in a 3D program outside of Unreal and then import your models. That's the best way to go. Because yeah, I have a feeling that the modeling tools that Epic have put into the engine are pretty basic. So I'm just going to do a select invert so I can isolate and select those. Really? Come on. There we go. Just so it's easier for me to select these, to find the one, I'm sure that we UV mapped one of them, but I could be wrong. No, we UV mapped that one. Let's double check it just to make sure. Yep. Okay. That's all good. So that's the one we want. We can tell it's UV mapped because we can see the seam lines. Hellforge says, Convent, Death Doom Metal, and Nervosa, Thrash Metal are two excellent examples of girl power as well. If you want something more substantial than pop music. You guys know I listen to all sorts of music, everything from classical to opera to country and western to pop to bubblegum pop to everything. I like all sorts of music. I'll check that out, actually, Helpwoods, though, those two bands. Asuta says, yep, I model in Houdini. Pardon me. In Houdini. Let me just grab a drink. I got a frog in my throat. Yeah, Houdini's cool. I use Max, as you guys know. I know a lot of people use Blender, which is good, very good as well. Oh, don't you hate it when you get that throb in your throat? Speak English, Philip. Speak good English. So yeah, model in a third-party 3D program like Blender, which is free, and then bring those models into Unreal to set up your environments, whatever they are. And yeah, and I really like using Unreal, as I was saying, Asutha. I love their artist tool, so you'll find setting up your environments and stuff really pleasurable using Unreal. Unlike some other engines, Gamebryo, that doesn't exist anymore. Coffee, yes, coffee is a good suggestion, Hellforge. The creative juice, that's right. Hellforge says, I wouldn't know. I've never had a French person in my throat. Whoa, that's rude. I've actually eaten frog's legs. They taste like chicken. Not bad. Heaps of garlic and butter, but which pretty much covers up anything, the taste of anything. But yeah, they weren't bad. Asutha says, try this song. Armando Morabito, Sea of Atlas, official audio, featuring Julie Elvin and Tina Duo. I'll check it out. And again, I know you guys can hear my music playing in the background. I can't hear a thing. It's completely silent where I'm sitting here. Because if I was listening to the music as well, then you'd get feedback happening in my mic and it wouldn't be pleasant for you guys. So I sit in silence and suffer for you. Asutha says, one of my favourites over time. I'll check that out as well. Because I do like all sorts of music. Asutha says, builds up and is very strong. Cool. Ford says, garlic butter works with a lot of things. It does. I love garlic. Love, love, love garlic. Can never have too much garlic. And onion as well. Garlic and onion, I love them. So these can all be the one colour, I think. We're not going to go too outrageous here with the shells for the oven because we don't need to. Let's just make it a purple. And let's turn vertex colouring on so we know we've done it. And go out of isolation mode. There we go. Asutha says, I made my company homepage. It's in Estonian at the moment and I need to translate it to English. Hellforge says there's this crazy thing called headphones. Might be worth trying at some point. Well, I have two sets of headphones right in front of me actually. I even have a wireless set right here. Some Logitech wireless headphones. But, that's true. I could plug them in. You see, the problem with headphones is I end up screaming at you guys because I can't hear the tone, the volume level of my own voice. So when I have headphones on playing music and trying to talk to you guys, it could be a problem. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I see that. You're in the Discord. Okay. I'm wondering what that little noise is because I don't usually hear the Discord notification. So yes, I would put the headphones on and listen to the music as well, but then I'd just end up yelling at you guys. So I suffer in silence just for you. Want to see you're on the Discord, you got it fixed. Okay, let's check it out. Asutha's just messaged me on the Discord with a link to his business website. So let's have a look. Let's check it out. I've not seen the .ee before. What is that? Is that unique to your part of the world, to Estonia or whatever? So this is Asutha's website. I'll pop the link in Twitch chat. Very nice. Shall we get Google to do an auto-translate for us? Why not? You can tell me just how clever Google is, Isutha, as to whether it's translated things correctly. I like the layout, it's nice and clean. It's unusual to actually list prices up front though, I have to tell you. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but generally studios don't do that. And they do that on purpose, so you have to contact them to get a quote. Estonian, yes, okay. So it's in Estonian. I've just used Google Translate to do a translation. It's probably got it really badly wrong, as Google Translate usually does. Helpwood says, thanks Phil, you're basically 3D Jesus. You suffer for our sins of unoptimized meshes and dodgy texturing. That's right, I suffer for you guys. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, it's unusual to list your prices like that. Not saying you shouldn't, but I'm just saying most studios don't do that. But the actual layout and the quality of the work looks really nice. Very nice. We're just going to check out to make sure that everything is working as it should. I'm looking at this on a 4K screen, so if this looks a little different, Isutha, than what you thought, it's probably just because the resolution of my screen is quite high. Isutha says, it is Estonian law, have to have it. Oh, okay, I didn't realise that. Okay, fine. He's talking about the prices, I'm assuming. Smurf says, man, I'd love some 3D scanning hardware. Oh, look at that accuracy. Look at that accuracy there. Nice. Just checking out some of the images here. Very nice. Sorry, I'm just reading a little blurb here. I want to get an idea of what you're doing. Let's see. I'd love some 3D scanning hardware as well, Smurf. Smurf says, give lasers. You've got a good range of stuff here to show people, clients, so that's good. I remember this model. Really nice. You showed this one on stream last time I was talking to you, I think. Lovely work. I was saying to the guys, I just recently had to upgrade my PC and memory in particular because I'm starting to doing some work with scans from a museum, and those scans are huge. Huge. Poly counts are huge, and they gobble up as much memory as you give them. Some animation stuff, cool. Okay. Again, lovely model. Very nice. Lots of pictures though. Lots of pictures. Yeah, it's looking really cool. Like I said, nice clean layout. And showcase the work really nicely. I'm looking at the design of the website at the moment. That's what I'm talking about, because I used to do web development and design as well, prior to me getting into doing 3D. Yeah, it's very nice. Well, there you go, guys. If anyone wants some professional 3D stuff done, check out Verts 3D. Nice stuff. Top right, yep, I got that. Is the menu, Isutha is saying. Android Lust, hey Android Lust, it's good to see you, buddy. Sorry, I got caught up looking at Isutha's business website here. It's good to see you, Android Lust. Isutha says it is used for reverse engineering, and this is architecture scanning. Isutha says on top there is images that have 360 on corners. Those you can rotate if you click on them. This web page is my first web page. Well, I think you did a really good job. It's looking nice and clean, which is what's important. Less is more. So it's nice and clean. You guys check out Isutha's website at your leisure. He's got quite a bit here that he's showing off by the look of it. Those prices are relatively cheap too, actually. You sure you're not underselling yourself here? So what's this other link you popped into the Discord? This is the model rotation option. Yeah, I won't look at that Isutha right now. But you guys should check out Isutha's stuff. So this is a link Isutha has just popped into Discord, where you can actually rotate the model. You click on the model and you can rotate and zoom. So if you want to check that out, check that out. We're going to finish what we're doing, otherwise I'll never get this building finished. But very nice work, Isutha. Andrew says, what's that site? My poor 360p can't see it. Isutha's business. That's Isutha's business website. He's doing ArchViz and he does 3D scanning and that sort of thing. So that was his business website that you saw, Andrew Dust. Okay, so what I want to do though is I do want to isolate the oven, and at the moment the interior of the oven is the same as the outside. So we want to separate up the interior so we can texture it up separately inside of Substance Painter. So we're just going to turn off vertex coloring so we can see it. And we are going to select just the interior. Oh, I see. Let me just check that. That's fine. No, we don't want that bit either. We'll make sure we don't select bits we don't want. That's fine. It's because I don't have backface. I'll turn on ignore backfacing. That should stop it. Yeah, it's actually, getting back to the music thing, it's actually quite strange for me to work here. Not strange now because I've streamed on Twitch for so long, but initially it was quite strange because every time I do 3D work or any sort of, work on the PC, I generally have my headphones on, listen to music. Either that or I've got the TV on in the background on like a music channel, like MTV or something like that. So it is weird for me to work without listening to music, because I generally always do. And when I'm working in the studio, I always have headphones on. I'm always listening to music, because otherwise it's too distracting with other people in the studio talking and milling around. You know what it's like when you work in a studio environment. There's always people yapping to each other. Okay, so let's make those. We have to pick a color we haven't already used, and that's going to be a challenge because we've used quite a few different colors. Let's try like a brown. I don't think we've used a brown. We're going to turn vertex coloring back on so we can double check. Yeah, no, I think we should be alright. So I think that might be all the colours we need, all the vertex colouring we need. I think everything's pretty much good to go. I'm just wondering if I should separate those burners up a bit more. Smurf says it's pretty good. I think he's talking about Suze's website. I think it's very good. Smurf says potato is a colour. Potato is a colour. Is it? Is it though? Is potato a colour? I guess it is. Potato colour. And I don't know if you guys saw, but I actually had to post the go live message myself in my Discord because I usually use MuxieBot, which is, you know, it integrates with Discord. So every time I go live, it automatically tells you guys that are members of the Discord server that I've gone live, but it's not working at the moment. And they know it's not working because they posted it to their Twitter account saying it. So I'm probably going to, if I remember, have to post myself to everyone when I go live. Sniper Girl, it's good to see you, Sniper Girl. How are you? You make it home safely, I hope, with all the snow and stuff around? Hello to you as well. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing really good. I hope everyone else is too. So yes, potato is a colour. We've determined potato is a colour. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether I should separate up the burners a little bit more. Well, I might do that because I might make them look a bit more interesting. So we're just going to turn off vertex colouring again. And we will make the actual burners themselves a separate colour from the base of the burner. So let's make those. Well, I don't have potato as a colour. And I'm just going to try and pick a colour we haven't already used, which is, like I said, going to be a real challenge. What about a mid-grey? It's like a grey-blue. There we go. So let's just review now. So we're going to have the logo as its own colour. And then we have the top of the oven, sides of the oven, middle of the oven and base of the oven. We have our dials here at the front. We have our burner bars. We're separating the border up as a separate colour and the interior as a separate colour as well. We only have to do one door because we're going to duplicate it inside of the engine for this one, and we only have to do one tray because we're just going to duplicate it around. Because if we look at the front of the oven here, we should be able to use this door on this side, just flip it on one of the axes. So we should be good. Let's do a quick save and I can have a coffee. Sniper Girl says, I had today off. Oh, okay, didn't go anywhere and no intentions of going anywhere with that much snow outside. Lucky you. Sniper Echo says potato is not a colour, and he would know because he's from Ireland. Sniper Echo says, us Irish, you know, reinforcing the stereotype, do not agree that potato is a colour. Well, there you go, you've been told. What am I going to be looking at here, Android Lust, with this link? Euro, it's good to see you, Euro. How are you? I just want to check this link out that Android Lust has popped into Twitch chat. What's this? Small potatoes. What is this? Can anyone tell me what this is? Is it a pen? Is it a colour? A pen colour? I think that's what it is, and he says it's called small potato. Man. It's a bit... Euro says potato colour, what WTF? Yeah, we're trying to discuss whether potato is a colour, because Smurfberry said potato was a colour. And Sniper Echo, who is from Ireland, says potato is not a colour. And I think this is a potato-coloured marker that Android Last has popped into chat. Potatoes in Scottish, Smurpery says. Euro says it's a Crayola felt tip pen. Yep, I got that eventually. It took my slow brain a little while, but I did get there in the end. Yeah, I realised it's a coloured pen called Small Potatoes, which I love. Sniper Echo says, I can finally tell all my people that I have done my part for King and Country. Sniper Girl says, I had a tripod that was supposed to have arrived today and the US mail didn't even want to try to deliver it due to the weather. It shows how bad it is outside. Well, I know I've been hearing about the blizzard conditions that have been happening in Texas of all places. I know a big swathe of the US, you guys are actually under a lot of snow. But there's places like Greece and Athens that are snowing. I mean, the weather is completely out of control. Really out of control. It's global warming, I tell you. I may have to throw my Be Right Back screen up on short notice, guys, because I'm just waiting for someone to come and knock at my door. So I've only begun about a minute at the most, though, if I do. So if my Be Right Back screen goes up unexpectedly, then that's the reason. I won't be long. I've just got to wait for this knock. Well, at least you can stay nice and snug inside, Sniper Go, if you don't have to go out. The best way to be. Euro says that's brown, and I would call it brown as well, actually. But potatoes, I guess, are a light brown, depending on the type of potato. Sniper Echoes agree that it's brown. Euro says potato is a vegetable you need. Sniper Girl says I live in Illinois. It's bad when they don't want to deliver a package here. You see, I'm assuming it's on Amazon because Amazon deliver in any weather, don't they? They even deliver on a Sunday in this country. Like our normal postal service do not deliver on the weekend. So you get no postage on Saturday or Sunday, only Monday to Friday. But not Amazon. Amazon deliver it 7 days a week. I had a package delivered last week or the week before on a Sunday afternoon. So that's unusual for us. I don't know about you guys in the US, but that's really unusual for us to get weekend deliveries. Sniper Girl, Android Lust says they're going to ring that horror. No, they won't ring the buzzer. Don't worry, you won't get that loud buzz. They're just going to knock on my door. It's one of the other people that live in the block of flats here, so that I need to have a quick chat to. So, but I won't be long. So no, don't worry, there won't be the loud buzz. It'll just be a gentle knock on the door. Sniper Girl says, we're supposed to be used to it. Sniper Echo says to Sniper Girl, hey. Euro says, we get mail 6 days a week. Some with couriers, only shipping agents work weekends here. Well, that's just it. I think Amazon have their own delivery people. Like, as in they contract out deliveries to private people. Like Uber. You know how you have Uber drivers? It's that sort of thing, but for delivery drivers. I think that's the way it works. And they deliver on Saturdays and Sundays. I was quite surprised. Sniper Girl says, I ordered it from Amazon with 3 other things. The other 2 packages arrived and the one package that they sent by the US mail didn't. Not sure why the hell Amazon didn't just deliver everything themselves. Yeah, I know, it's weird, isn't it? Like I've placed an order for 3 or 4 things on Amazon and they put like 3 of them together and one of them's come separately. I can't work that out either. I would have thought it would be more economical for the company to put everything together. It's Amazon. They do what they want. Who can work them out? Hero says, but that's mostly because of oil terminal stuff like oil tankers, etc. Oh, okay, you're talking about deliveries. Yep. Android Lust says, I thought Amazon used the postal service mostly since it's cheaper. Or cheaper for them here in the US. Not in this country. They don't use the postal service here. They have their own drivers. Well, they contract it out to drivers. They don't use Australia Post. They used to. When they first set up their warehouse here in Australia, they used to use Australia Post, but I think Australia Post were too slow for them and they were getting too many angry complaints from customers. So they, unless it's just because I'm a Prime member, maybe Prime members are different, but Yeah, they use their own delivery people. They don't rely on the postal service, the Australia Postal Service, because they're hopeless, guys. They are hopeless. Our Australia Post, I don't know what the US Postal Service is like, but Australia Post is terrible. Just terrible. I've complained about them before to you guys. Remember, I had a package come from one side of the city here where I live to me, and it took them over 2 weeks to deliver it. I mean, this is something that's coming from like 4 suburbs away, so maybe within 20 miles for you guys in the US. It took 2 weeks. Just insane. They're so bad, really bad. It's because it's government run. Well, it's because it's government run, so it's bad. Well, sort of government run. It's hard, it's difficult to explain Australia Post, but basically they get funding from the government, so it's government run. Sniper Girl says, a lot of things where I live, Amazon delivers themselves. It's the same here. US says, I don't know about US Amazon, but there's a checkbox on my order page for them to lump orders together. I don't think usually when I buy stuff on Amazon, and if it's multiple stuff, I get it all, I put it all in my shopping cart at one time before I check out. I haven't actually tried making separate orders and seeing if I can combine them. So I don't know about if I've got that option or not. But even if you put everything in your cart at the one time, sometimes Amazon will break the order up. Anyway. Snappy Girl says, there's an Amazon place near me. There is too. There's an Amazon warehouse only about 3 or 4 suburbs away from where I live. So they're pretty close to where I live too. And I get my deliveries now next day. So I can order it in the evening and the next day in the morning it will be delivered to me generally before lunch. So it's really good. And I get free delivery because I'm a Prime member, so can't get better than free. We love that free delivery. Sniper Girl says, well, not super near me, but technically within Champagne country. Yuri says, I bitched at Amazon for using couriers due to excessive delays and get all of my stuff sent via Royal Mail now. Well, I can't fault them. Amazon's delivery in Australia has been really good. Really fast. I don't pay for it, well, apart from being a Prime member and paying a subscription for that, but I get a lot of my friends saying I shouldn't order so much stuff from Amazon because I order lots of stuff from Amazon, and I do it because it's free delivery. But they say, oh, you shouldn't be supporting an American multinational company. You should buy locally, and they're right. They are right. Like my computer though, when you guys know I just built a new PC. I did not buy any of that from Amazon. I bought it all from a local PC store, like the parts, and I built the computer myself. But I didn't use Amazon for any of that. So I supported the local businesses. But Amazon is just so convenient and quick, and it's free delivery. Sniper Girl says, I'm a bit frustrated. We're supposed to have arrived on Sunday and it's Tuesday. And no one likes waiting, do they? I want it now. Now. Now it's Tuesday. Now they're saying it'll arrive on Wednesday, maybe. Well, you are having an unseasonably cold snow snap, so you can't be too angry at them. Smurf, I'm sure you are, but Smurf says, in my experience, the US Postal Service is good when it's not being sabotaged by politicians. You were talking about the voting thing, aren't you, Smurfberry? Yes, I did hear about that during the election or just before the election. Euro says, yeah, they will split your order by weight sometimes. Oh, okay. That's what it's... Why? By weight. Sniper Girl says, granted, I ordered a tripod for photogrammetry, which I can't do due to the snow out still. Be nice if it arrives. Well, you still want it. Just because you can't use it doesn't mean you don't want it now. Half the fun is the unboxing. Sniper Girl says to Smurfberry, when your package says it isn't delivered due to weather conditions, when the roads are clear, I tend to have issue with this. I mean, it's Illinois and we get snow. It snowed last night and road crews were out since then. She's impatient, she wants it now. I'm the same, don't worry. Yura says, and particularly if they gave you a date, now they're pushing it back and back and back. That's fair enough. Yura says, I'd buy local, but the local PC shops are shit. They cater more towards officers than enthusiast pro level components. So I'm actually really lucky living in Melbourne. We've got 3 or 4 computer stores that are dedicated to actual enthusiast PC people. And they're really good. Like, they've got a really good range. The prices are a little bit on the high side, but you know, they're private business, so you can't really complain too much. And they do have a really good range, and their delivery is usually really good as well. They package things really well, so it doesn't get damaged in transit. It's delivered relatively quickly, apart from what the last couple of months, because of the human malware, that's caused a problem for everyone. Because it took me over a month just to get the motherboard and the all-in-one liquid cooler in. I had everything else, but it took over a month just to get those 2 components. It took a little while to get the other components in as well, but those 2 took the longest, the motherboard and the all-in-one cooler. Because I wanted one that matched my case, the cooler that is. I could have bought a different all-in-one cooler and got it quicker, but I wanted a specific one, and I had to wait for them to bring it into the country, so. Because I'm one of those weird people that likes to look inside their PC, because I've got a glass panel on my PC, and my PC is up on my desk next to me, and I like to look in it. I showed you a picture of the new build the last week or the week before, I think. And I like to support local businesses if I can. Sniper Girl says, not really, not here for where I live. I live up north. It's supposed to be cold and get snow. Snowberry says, speaking of computer components, I'm thinking about giving up on Zen 3 and just ordering a Zen 2 part because they're at least bloody available. You're not the only one who's been complaining about that Smurfberry barbecue, don't worry. I look at a few different Australian forums, like OCAU and stuff, Overclockers Australia, and a couple of other enthusiast forums where they talk about computer stuff and hardware and all that sort of jazz. And lots of people are complaining that they can't buy computer CPUs or GPUs. I mean, they're both really hard to come by at the moment, particularly the new Zen processors. You guys know I went Intel with my new build. So I feel your pain, Smurfberry. A lot of people feel your pain. Yura says, I have a glass side panel, PC downside of desk, and never look at it. No, that's why I've got my PCs are up on my desk, and I like to look in the PC while I work. It's weird. I'm just one of those weird people that likes to see inside their computer. Well, my motherboard has, you know, one of those little LED displays on it that gives you error codes and stuff, usually in red. It has one of those on it, and in the BIOS for my motherboard, you can program that to show the temperature of the CPU. So occasionally I can just glance over and look at the LED and see what the temperature of my CPU is, which is handy. I mean, you know, I could run software and have it in my tray or something, a little display in my tray here, but my Windows, you know, bar at the bottom. But it's just easier for me to be able to look over and see what the temperature of the CPU is, particularly while I'm doing some sort of extensive rendering thing going on or some sort of photogrammetry thing going on. Make sure my CPU isn't about to catch fire. Sniper Girl says, I'm still looking at getting a bot to buy a GPU for me. The second one becomes available. Surprisingly, bots aren't expensive to get. No, they're not. They're not expensive to get. And if you really want one, I guess, yeah, that's a valid way to go. If you trust the bot. I wouldn't trust the bot with my credit card details. I wouldn't trust any bot with my credit card details, but that's just me. I'm just super paranoid. Yura says it's a global issue. It's even affecting car manufacturers. Yeah, I heard about that. Getting chips for the stuff that they're putting in cars. It's because you've got TSMC producing the Xbox, the new Xbox, the new PlayStation, all of AMD's graphics cards, all of AMD's CPUs. I mean, plus other companies. I'm not completely sure what other companies use them, but quite a few, I think. So they're just snowed under. I can hear someone coming up my steps, so I might be throwing the Be Right Back screen up in a minute, guys. I can hear, yeah, I am. I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys, okay? So yeah, it's an issue affecting a lot of different companies. Euro says we need more fabs to pump out silicon wafers. We do. We can't rely on just one fabrication company to do our stuff. It's obviously not. Well, actually, I read a report saying that I think Samsung are planning on opening a fab facility in the US. So that'll be interesting if they start manufacturing some chips directly in the United States. Should help. Andrew Loss says one of my local computer parts stores never have high-end CPUs or GPUs available. Save and copy. Good suggestion, Hellforge. Euro says 2020 was a perfect storm. You had COVID, the usual peeps who always want the newest hardware, the people who skipped new GPUs from the 10 series, and on top of that, crypto mining. Well, yeah, and a lot of people, because of the human malware, had to buy PCs because they started to have to work from home, which, you know, increased demand a lot as well. So I really do think that caused a big part of the problem. It's all of these people that had never considered buying a computer before but were forced to because they needed to work from home. I'm not saying everyone that has, anyone who could work from home generally would have needed a PC to do it. So I can't think of any other sort of job where where you could work from home but didn't need a PC to do it. I'm sure there are some, but so yeah, a combination of all those things to just caused a huge problem with supply chain. Smurfberry says, yeah, no one could have predicted all of those factors happening at the same time. I know. 2020 was a terrible year, and 2021 has so far not been great either, with the human malware and everything else. You guys know I've been in lockdown again, a 5-day lockdown in Melbourne where I live, and that's being lifted tonight at midnight, thank goodness. So, yeah, I hate these lockdowns, they're terrible. We still have to wear masks, that's mandatory, but at least I can go further than 5 kilometres from my house, and I can go out for more than just going shopping for groceries and stuff. Smurfberry says, Euro says you can do knitting from home, but you'd need to go online to order wool. That's right. So you need a PC. Even if you're not working from home, you need a PC to buy stuff. With the lockdown, Smurfberry says, and the thing about chip fabs is that you have to plan them out years in advance. Yeah, you do. Halford says, grave diggers, they can work from home without a computer, just need a shovel. Well, they're going to bury them in the backyard. Ew. We're going to decide which of these assets we've been working on to start texturing up first. We can either do the kitchen, we can do the stove that we've got here, or we can do the fridge. Do you guys have a preference to where we start? Android Lust says, Phil, did your city get one case of the human malware and go, yep. Our city we got like 5 cases, all from hotel quarantine. So that's basically people that fly back into the country, they put in hotels for 14 days and quarantine them to make sure that they don't spread it throughout the rest of the community. So we got 5 cases from people that worked at those hotels. And after we got those 5 cases, our premier in the state that I live in, Victoria, decided he was going to lock us down again for 5 days. So we weren't allowed to go out unless it was for shopping for groceries or for medical reasons. We couldn't move, even for exercise, we couldn't go further than 5 kilometres from where we live. You know, the same lockdown that we were in last year, at the end of last year, that lasted 3 months, which was just awful. So yeah, basically we had 5 cases and the Premier thought, nope, we're going to lock you down for 5 days and see what happens. And that's what he did. But that finishes tonight at midnight because we had no cases today. So, and we only had 2 cases yesterday and they were from close contacts of the first lot of 5 people that caught it. So yeah, they were worried because it's that new UK strain of it, which is much more infectious. I think that's the reason they decided to lock down early. Hard and sharp, I think they called it, a hard and sharp lockdown for 5 days. But I hate these lockdowns. I so hate them. Because I had to go through one that lasted 3 months and it was just, by the end of it, I was climbing the walls. Healthwood says, whichever one is the easiest. so you can blast through them and gain momentum. Yeah, I think probably the fridge will be the easiest, to be honest, because it's not quite as detailed as the rest of them. The kitchen, well, the kitchen probably wouldn't be too bad. I don't know. Let me have a look. That's the oven. That's the fridge. Oh, by the way, with the fridge, I'll just show you too. I did actually, you know how yesterday I was thinking, oh, I really don't feel like I was doing the interior of the fridge door and it was a pain. And I said I wouldn't do it, but I did do it. I actually did it last night. So we have the interior that's a separate color so we can texture it up separately. The same as the interior here. Or we could do the kitchen. Don't even save it. Because the kitchen, even though it looks more complicated, it's actually not really. Because it's mainly just the same material for most of the cupboards and stuff. So let's do the kitchen, I think. Why not? We'll start with the big thing. Well, big as in size, but not big as in complicated. Yeah, why not? We'll start with the kitchen. Because we can, once we do one, we can save the materials, the smart materials, and we can use them on the rest of the kitchen. So let's start with this bit up here. And this is kitchen top left. So I'm going to export it. I'm going to put it in the kitchen folder. K, where's K? There it is. There's something else we have to actually model up, which I haven't done yet as well. And that's the thing that will go above the island bench in the middle of the kitchen to hang the pots and pans from, the thing that will attach to the ceiling. I haven't actually modeled that up yet. But we've done enough modeling and UV mapping for a few streams, so we'll do some texturing just for a bit of change of pace, I think. And then we'll have to come back and model the into UV map, then model and UV map this thing that hangs the pots from. So kitchen top left. Now I actually do have a plugin that I could send this over to Substance Painter, but the plugin is a bit buggy, so I prefer to do it manually. But there is a plugin that you can hit to actually send your model over, open up Substance Painter, load your model in, all that sort of jazz. Android Lust says, I vote refrigerator. Android Lust says, that's impressive, to be honest. 5 cases in lockdown. Yeah, I know. Well, they were so proud of us. Well, we went through 3 months of pain in lockdown to make sure that we got rid of all the cases we had. And I don't think they want to give that up lightly. So 5 cases, back into lockdown for 5 days. But it does finish at midnight tonight. Thank goodness. Sniper Girl says, I wish that we took it seriously. Yeah, I know it's quite bad over there, and it's quite bad in Europe as well. Euro says, we only had 69 here since last March. All of them coincide with people travelling here. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we basically have shut our borders to tourists. So if you're just a tourist wanting to come to Australia, you can't. The only people we let fly into the country are Australian citizens, so people that actually have an Australian citizenship. But even then, they put you in these quarantine hotels for 14 days before they let you out into the community, because they don't want the human malware to spread again in this country, because we don't basically have any cases now, apart from people returning from overseas in these quarantine hotels, or tennis players, because the Australian Open tennis match thingy is on at the moment. So I don't think they should have let that happen, but anyway, that's just my opinion. But 69 is not bad either since last March, Euro. Euro says about half of those are from this Christmas past. Sniper Wrecker says, hang on, did Phil just say kitchen is no big deal? So I did say that. Let's jump into Substance Painter. No big deal, and in that it should be textured up more quickly than the others. Euro says, how long have you guys waited for this kitchen? I tell you, almost as long as you waited for the toilet. Euro says the amount of free drive space Phil has is scandalous. I said to you guys, it freaks me out when you open up your Explorer and you see the bar is red, because like, you know how Windows, after you get to a certain amount of usage, this turns red. That freaks me out when I see one of these go red. So, and you know, I have quite a few hard drives, and they're either 3 terabytes or 4 terabytes, or the 2 SSDs here are 1 terabyte. And that SSD is about half terabyte. Smurf says, unrelated, last night I was playing that game, and when I was done and quit out, I realized that Maya had been running in the background the entire time. Doesn't Windows optimize for games? If you turn game, I can't remember what they call it in Windows, in settings, gaming, you can turn not the game bar but game mode. If you have that switched on, then Windows will automatically like give no resources to Maya and give everything to Windows, to whatever game is running. So maybe that's why. Hellport says, apparently Star Citizen is currently free to try for the next 10 days or so. So if you want to give it a try and look at some cool assets, he loves the Star Citizen, Hellport. So yeah, well there you go guys, if you want to check Star Citizen out, if it's free to try for the next 10 days, why not? Hellport says, how's is that Valheim? I've been thinking about getting it. Sniper Girl says, oh my god, we're almost up to 500k people dead. Yeah, due to the human malware. Yeah, I realized, like last week I was looking at it, and we don't want to get caught up on this because it's a terribly depressing subject, but yeah, there were close to coming up to 500,000 people in the US alone who have passed away because of the human malware. It's just terrible. And worldwide, you know, because the UK have been having a hard time of it as well. A lot of people have been dying there too. And Brazil. Like, yeah, it's awful. Awful. Sniper Girl says 487,000 total. Smurfberry says, I've been playing with 4 friends and it's been pretty fun. The upgrade progression system is very slow though. Euro says, I bought Valheim today, and I'm probably mispronouncing that. I'll get around to playing it sometime in the next 2 months. Smurf says, so if you want fast progression, you'll probably go nuts. Euro says, I'm not a fan of easy modes. Android Lust says, to Hellforge, how much storage Star Citizen use, like 200 gig? Smurf says, and several upgrades are gated behind defeating bosses, but otherwise it's somewhat similar to Minecraft but slower. Hellforge says, I think around 100 gigabyte per Star Citizen install. Smurf says, I don't touch the Windows game mode thing. I normally turn it off as well, I have to admit. Generally, I turn that game mode thing off, but because it's a new build and a new install of the operating system, I haven't got around to going through every setting in Windows to turn stuff off that Windows turns on by default yet. I just did the most important things, and gradually over the next few weeks to a month, I'll get around to digging through all those menus in Windows to turn off stuff that I don't want turned on. I normally have it turned off too. Helpwood says, I haven't seen how much space the latest patches adds to it. Android Lust says, didn't know Windows had a game mode. Yeah, it does. Euro said, the game mode thing messes with lots of my stuff, so I have it disabled in the registry. Yeah, you don't need to do it in the registry. You can just flick that little switch and it will turn it off. Let's load up the model we just exported. We're going to do it at 2K. Is that always defaulted to OpenGL, or was it defaulting to DirectX? I always thought it was DirectX. The normal map format, does anyone remember? Did it always default to OpenGL? I can't remember. Are we doing a compute tangent space per fragment though? Because we're making a game asset, or we're texturing a game asset. We don't want to auto unwrap, and we're not importing cameras. Again, this is a new install of Substance Painter on the new machine, so that's why some of the defaults are probably a little... Remember, I will remember that. Helpwood says, remember to change to vertex color instead of material when baking. Android Lust says, the Sniper Girl, if the US did what Australia did, we probably would have less than 50,000 deaths. Yeah. Helpwood says, I've been playing a bit of Red Dead Online, and the progression and leveling is glacially slow, but it's nice to just walk around in the nature and do some hunting. That's what I really liked about the Witcher game. It's nice sometimes just to wander through the forest and stuff instead of actually doing the storyline, just because it was so beautifully done. The environments were so nicely done. Sniper Girl says to Android Dust, yeah, that's true. A lot of older people die according to the death stats, and with the followers of the Republican Party being mostly older people, they literally allowed a lot of their base to die by doing nothing. It's sad. It is sad. Mercury says, Valheim doesn't do texture filtering by design, so everything is pixely when you get close to it, but that's by design. Helpwood says, remember to change your... Mercury says, the dynamic weather and day-night cycle is gorgeous. It's not great fog and soft particles. It's got great fog and soft particles. Yura says, I have an app that disables all the MS telemetry spyware crud and the game mode stuff when Windows starts. Because MS quite often re-enable things with updates. Yes, they do. You've got to watch them like a hawk. Android Lust says, that's why I postpone Windows updates for weeks unless it force updates. Can anyone remember if the normal map format was always set to OpenGL? I thought it was DirectX. I'm pretty sure it's direct. I'm going to turn it to DirectX. Because we're going to be exporting it for a game model, which uses DirectX 12, but so... I'm going to say DirectX. We'll know soon if I'm right or not. Well, I guess we'll know. And again, this is the wrong way around. Like, I haven't changed my settings yet, so I have to change this. When I scroll, I like it to be reversed from the way it normally is here in the editor, and there is an option for it somewhere. Invert direction on the... That's better. So when I'm moving forward, it goes in. When I'm scrolling backwards, it goes back. That's the way I want it to be. Let's start by baking out the maps. Eurus says, I always do patch Tuesday. The 2 big patches per year I leave for a week or 2 in case they balls up. Yeah, I know what you mean. Twice a year, Microsoft's basically reinstalled your operating system with their... I can't remember what they call them, but twice a year you get like a complete reinstall of your operating system with these Microsoft updates. Like the spring update, the summer update, whatever they call them. Those ones I generally wait a little while as well before I install them because generally they have issues. But the monthly patches, make sure you do those every month because they patch a lot of security problems with the operating system. I generally trust those ones, but the twice yearly one, I never do that immediately. I always wait just to be on the safe side because I need to use my computer for work and I can't afford to have it not work. So I don't trust them. Sniper Echo says, yep, should be DirectX. Thank you, Sniper Echo. That's what I thought as well. Because we're going to be bringing it into a game engine which uses DirectX. So it's just interesting it defaults to OpenGL because again, this is a new install of the software on the new operating system. Yuri says, just invert the green channel in the normal map if it exports wrong. That's true. Much Swizzle Smurf says, Euro says, same reason I opted not to install my 2 new SSDs. I can't do downtime. Yeah, neither can I. Can't afford any downtime. We're going to use the high poly as the low poly here on the bake art. We're going to bake it at 2K and we want to make sure that the ID map is set to vertex color. Thank you, Hellforge, for reminding me. And let's bake. Okay. I'm just going to change it from material 183 to another name that's a little bit more descriptive. And we're going to call it what we call the model. So if I jump back into Max, and I can just copy the model name here and rename that. Okay. Now, how are we going to texture this up? That's the next question. Well, we have a few options with kitchen cabinets. We could make them like a, I'm not even sure what you'd call it. Shiny white. We talked about it the other day with the fridge. We could either make them like a solid colour, or we could do them like in a wood. I'm not sure which ways. And again, I've sort of like got to mentally imagine the design of the kitchen that I want. I know I want the walls split in two. Like, so the walls, the bottom half of the walls will be tiled, halfway up the wall tile, and then the other half of the wall will be, I want like wooden boards that have been painted but will be like not freshly painted. They'll be like old paint that's peeling a little bit. So that's, but the color wise I'm not sure yet. Probably maybe a blue for the wood, and then a whitish tile probably for the bottom half of the wall. The floor itself I'm not completely sure about yet, whether I want to go with a wood or a tile. We know the oven and the fridge are going to be like, I'm probably going to end up making them an all-white cream sort of colour. Because they're old. They're not brand new, so we're not going to make them like bright white, or they're not stainless steel, or they could be, but stainless steel is more of a modern thing. So they're probably going to be a cream. So we're going to have a blue, cream, unknown for the floor. I still haven't decided how I want to texture up the curtain yet. Euro says his SSDs are sitting on the desk looking at him. It will be so tempted to put them in though. Helpwood says if you put a mirror next to them, they'll be looking at themselves instead. So you can end gone in peace. A ceramic Android Lust. Yeah, it's like a ceramic, I guess. It's not actually ceramic. I'm not sure what you call it. I want to say vinyl, but it's not a vinyl either. Helpwood says, I saw something about potato colour earlier in chat. I was making breakfast at the time, so I didn't see the exact context. Yes, they were talking about whether potato... Smirkberry said potato was a colour. And Sniper Echo said potato was not a colour. And Sniper would know because he's from Ireland, so... Hero says you could do a terracotta tile on the... Yeah, look, we could do quite a few different things for the floor of the kitchen. It's just, why don't we do a wood? We'll see what it looks like. If we don't like it, then we can try... This is the beauty of working with Substance Painter. We're spoiled for choice, so we can look at stuff, and if we don't like what it looks like, we can change it. It's no big deal. So let's see what we got here to work with. Now, I'm going to keep them small. Normally I work in large mode, but because I have so many materials now, it just starts to get a bit too slow. It just takes too long for it to generate the thumbnail, so if we keep it in small mode or medium mode, it keeps them all generated for me. So what do we got? Helpwood says Sniper is a potato expert, so I trust his judgment. I do too. Euro says my folks dropped off some potato soup. Oh, I love potato and leek soup. Yum, 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 yum. I always make my own soup in winter, like not now because we're in summer, but in winter I always cook my own soup, and I love doing potato and leek. Love it. Yuri says that and no, I'm not joking, potato soup, yum. Helpwood says lava kitchen. Android Lust says the food talk again. You're making me hungry, guys. I'm hungry. Okay, what have we got here to play with? So we're going to start by looking at the cabinets themselves here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? I'm just going to run my mouse over these. It's just easier for us to see, maybe not when it's behind me, but to see what they are. We don't want a tile. We don't want metal cabinets. We don't want bricks. The base plastic. We don't want beech as a wood. We don't want granite cupboards. We don't want leather cupboards. Yura says Phil is working in the kitchen, so it kind of goes hand in hand. It certainly does. Elfwood says you have the smart material, might as well try it. It's true, I do have the smart material we made for the other furniture, but I don't know if I really want to go. Well, let's have a look then. Let's have a look at the smart materials, because we have saved out a lot of the smart materials we looked at for we created from the other assets we've made for the building. So we do have quite a few different woods here, so let's look at this wood. I'm just not sure I want to go with this type of wood for the cabinetry. But if we were to go with this one, we'd have to rotate it because it's the wood grain is running in the wrong direction. So we'd want to go 90. And 90 on this one as well. This is that chocolate wood we used on a lot of the other pieces of furniture. I was just wondering whether I should make the kitchen cabinets a little bit more different from the rest of the building. Don't know. What else do we got here? A lot of these will show up black because they're using custom alpha map, which needs to be removed. I forgot to remove it before I saved the smart material. That's why they show up black. I didn't name them though, so we should get a good idea that way. Oh, I don't know. Let's have a look at this antique chair one. Again, we're going to rotate it 90. What about if we do I'm just going to remove this layer at the bottom, which is empty. Let's jump into the smart masks. Let's see if we can get a mix happening. Let's try the surface worn. Yeah, I don't know that I really like the wood on this. I just want to see what else we've got here. Heavily rusted painted metal. I do know one thing, the height information on this is just way too strong anyway. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, I don't know, it's a bit insipid looking for wood. No, I don't like that. We should actually turn these off so we can get a better idea of what it's actually going to look like. I'll do that next. No, just going to turn these underlying layers off so we don't get distracted. No to that one. Yuri says it looks kind of dark for a kitchen. Yeah, I agree. Sorry, let me catch up with the chat. Elfwood says, on a more serious note, however, what colour with the walls and the floors have in the kitchen? I don't know about the floor. The walls, though, the bottom half of the wall will be like probably a white, like a white tile of some type, maybe with a pattern in it, but predominantly like white. And the top half of the wall will be like wooden slats, like panels, wooden planks sort of thing. And I'm thinking about making them like a blue, like a mix between a powder blue and a slightly dark, like a dark powder blue, but like peeling paint, so not completely clean looking. That's sort of what I'm thinking at the moment. But the floor I'm not sure about. We'll tackle that when we actually come to texture up the floor. Yeah, and again, I agree with Yura. Yura said that he thought it was a bit dark, that dark chocolate wood for the cabinetry, and I agree, I think it is. Helpwood says that there's that walnut smart material that ships with painter. There is. And I have a lot of my own smart materials that I've created here as well. Quite a few wood ones, actually. Because we use so much wood in the building. Let's have a look at this one. This is one I actually created for a different asset in the game level, one that you guys haven't seen. It's like a covered bridge. This might be interesting as an underlying texture that we then paint over the top of. I might just leave that there. I'm going to remove these two because I really don't like the dark wood. We're going to keep going though and see if we can't find something else. Again, this is another one that I created for the bridge. It depends on how distressed and old I want the kitchen to look, I guess. Yura says, I haven't used Substance in ages. I actually like Substance Painter, it is good. I mean, I prefer Mari, because you guys know I like to get in there and do stuff by hand, but Substance Painter is good if you're doing game assets. Elfwood says, busy with other things or not had anything to texture. To Yura, I'm assuming. Yura says, our current work has their own texture artists. They just need the models and bake maps. It's kind of good for them in a way. At least all the textures will be consistent in style. Yeah, looks very rustic, yeah. I don't know whether I really want to go for a rustic look for the kitchen though. That's what I'm trying to decide. Whether I want to go with more of a cleaner, newer look or what? Cleaner look or more of a rustic look. And I don't think I want to go that rustic. So Again, we'll keep it there, but we're going to keep going and see if we can't find something else. Maybe we can do something interesting by blending. Let's just have a quick look at the walnut. No, I don't really like the walnut. Come on, you can do it. Let me just turn these off so I can just get a look at that one texture on its own. I might just turn off the... Let me find the right layer. So this layer here. And this layer here. And this layer here, layers within layers. I must have missed it. It's in this layer here. The only reason I'm thinking about going a bit more distressed for the kitchen cupboards is because I'm going to be using assets that were not created by me. They were created by another 3D artist. Things for like the saucepans and wooden cutting boards and other, you know, just general kitchen paraphernalia. And his design is very distressed and old. So I've got to try and make sure I design the kitchen around the assets that have already been made, that weren't made by me. You'll see them when we jump into Unreal. So yeah, I sort of have to design the kitchen around these assets, and these assets, he made them very old and distressed, so otherwise I wouldn't be going for such a distressed and old and dirty looking kitchen. And I don't want it to be too dirty, because I mean the rest of the building is relatively, I mean it's relatively, you know, nice. Not old and falling apart. I mean, it could be interesting just to have one of the rooms is a bit different from the rest, but... Mr. Squarepeg! Hey Mr. Squarepeg! It's good to see you. Sorry it took me a while and get caught up in what I'm doing. I hope you're well, Mr. Squarepeg. Sniper Girl says, I get that kinda, but the rest of the mansion isn't like... Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, Sniper Girl, as well, and I agree. I mean, if worst comes to worst, I can retexture the assets from this guy anyway. That's not a big deal. Because you are right, the rest of the mansion is not old and falling apart. It's relatively nice, unless you're up in the attic. Mr. Squarepeg says, doing good here to Sniper Girl. Thank you, Hellforge. There's a Discord link. Pardon me, I got that tickle in my throat again. If you want to join the Phil Dust Studio Discord, click that link Hellforge just popped into Twitch chat. I'll try and not cough in my mic. And if you wanted to wishlist the game you see me trying to work on here, then you can click that link to wishlist it on Steam. I'm just going to mute my mic because I have to clear my throat and I don't want to cough into my mic for you guys. Okay, I think that's better. Android Lost says, retexture someone else's assets, make it seem like you're slapping them in the face. Well, again, I don't want to insult, that's just it. I don't want to insult the poor guy who put a lot of work into texturing these assets up. From the studio, from the game studio. Yeah, I don't want to insult him and retexture his assets, because he didn't do a bad job, but he made them really, really old and, you know, yeah, just really old, like they've been in some kitchen that's been completely destroyed and overrun and left abandoned for 100 years. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. But what we can do here is with this sort of thing, we can use this as a blending layer, even if we just use a standard wood. And you'll know what you'll see what I mean in a minute. What I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to turn off that layer there because we really don't need that distressing, that much distressing. So we'll turn that one off. I'm just going to close this so we don't have such a long stack of stuff to work with. So if I call this layer here just distressed, that'll just remind me what I want to use that layer for later on. But let's keep going and see if we can't find something else, because we can probably use it as a blending layer. It'll probably work quite well as a blending layer. And again, you'll see what I mean once I choose the material we're going to use as the main layer, which I'm just having a bit of a problem with. Yeah, no, that's a general dirt layer. Which again might be good. I'm just going to rename it dirt, but we don't want that the main layer. No, not that one. Sniper Girl says, then ask him to redo them and say that it doesn't match the theme. It happens at a game studio. It's part of the job. Part of the job is a rework. That is true, it is. The question then becomes, do I want to trust him to do the rework, or would I be better off doing it myself? That's the next question. But at least if I do it myself, I know exactly what I'm going to get. Whereas if I get him to do a rework, they could come back and still not be right. So, but you are correct. That is part of working in a studio. You do have to rework stuff. It's just whether it's more efficient for me to do the rework is the question. That way he could be moved on to do something else. Like just to work on some other assets for the game, not gotten rid of from a studio. I didn't want you to take that the wrong way. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, again, this beach color is not doing it for me. I mean, we can always change the color. I believe we can change the color of the wood. Let's rotate it 90 degrees anyway because it's in the wrong, facing the wrong direction. Let's also just look at the scaling. I'm just going to turn off the underlying layer so we're not getting distracted. We can go with the standard brown wood. Andrew Luss says the rest of the mansion looks elegant. Kitchen has mould and worn wood. I know. I agree. I mean, really, we can't make the kitchen look like it's been abandoned and destroyed for 100 years because it doesn't match the rest of the building. I was just always kept in the back of my head because I remember his texturing, and I know it looks like the pots and the pans and stuff have come from a kitchen that has been abandoned for hundreds of years, and everything starts to rust, and you know that look. That really. Do you remember a game called The Evil Within? The original, the Evil Within. Do you remember those environments where everything was really, really corroded and really dirty? And that's what the assets look like. They look like, something that would have come from like the Evil Within game. No. We're not going to have this autosave business. Turn that off. You guys know how much I hate that. Bad substance painter, bad. Snappy Girl says, then show him screens of the scene and what was designed to serve as inspiration. I could do that once we get it in the game engine, that is. But I'd rather either get him to move on to do something else, another asset or something, then have him, and then I could redo the texturing on the assets he's already done. But not at that stage yet. I'll think about it over the next few weeks and decide whether I want to do them or I'll get him to do them. I don't mind doing them. I mean, I'm one of these people. You find generally when you work in studios, there are two types of people, particularly if they're management people. Like, they're senior, like leads or something. There are the people that don't want to do it because they consider it beneath themselves to be doing such work, and they get juniors to do all the shit kicking work. Or there are managers who think, well, why would I get somebody else to do something I'm unwilling to do myself? And I come from the second camp, whereby I wouldn't ask someone to do something if I'm not prepared to do it myself. So I don't have a problem retexturing stuff or UV mapping stuff, or those sort of things are generally given to junior artists to do because the senior artists generally have better uses for their time, which is true and valid. But I don't mind doing that sort of stuff. So Helpwood says, Wood is this one crazy material type that I have little to no experience with, and I can't wrap my head around how to make it look good how to make a good looking wood material yet. Just a lot of mixing will get you a good material. You'll see what I mean when we start mixing this. Helpwood says metal and rubber is relatively easy. Snappy Girl says, well, if you don't know how he'll do it, then please have them hire me. Can start tomorrow. Helpwood says, isn't tomorrow technically like 5.5 hours from now for you, Snappy Girl? Remember, I come to you from the future. So you could start yesterday. Rename card. Silent Hill? Yeah, you know Silent Hill, that game. the assets he textured for it are a lot like Silent Hill. They're really, really, really destroyed and really old, and they don't suit the building. The building is, you guys have seen the building. Well, we can look at the building even just on the Steam store page. The building is not that old looking. You guys have seen it before, I know, but here, the game store page, we'll look at that. Yeah, it's not, the assets in the building they're not destroyed. The building does not look like it's 100 years old and falling apart. That's not the look we're going for. The look of the building is actually quite clean. So, yeah. But yes, like rename card, yes, like Silent Hill, they're the assets. That's what he sort of created. It's good to see you, rename card. I hope you're well. Sniper Girl says to Hellforge, if it's work remote, I'd be good to start then. Hey Forge. Sniper Girl says rename card, hi. Android Lust says hey. Thank you, Hellforge. Again, if you do want to check the game out, click the link Hellforge popped into Twitch chat for the Steam store page. First says the building is stuck in a time warp. Nothing goes in a time warp. Nothing ages in a time warp. That's right. Because once you pass those main gates that we have, you can never get out again. So that's the whole point of the game. You're trying to find a way to escape the hollow. Rename card says, ooh, game looks cool, thanks. Android Lust says it would be a shock to the player for them to walk into the kitchen and it looks nothing like the rest of the building. Well, see, that could be a good thing, though. That could be a good thing. You're expecting, you've been wandering through the building, you know how clean and nice it looks and elegant and clean, and you open up the kitchen and the kitchen's destroyed. Like, yeah, they could look cool. That could be interesting. I mean, I don't think it probably would be, but it could be. It could be. It's a game. It can be anything really we want, but Android Lust says not entirely a good shock though. Hellforge says like taking a leak on an electric fence. Or so I've heard. Okay. What we can do here is I don't mind that colour. Now again, we've got to imagine behind it here, half of the wall is going to be like wooden planks that are like a painted blue but peeling a little bit. I will have them peeling a little. The bottom half of the wall will be like white tiles, maybe with a pattern but predominantly white. We do want to make the top of this a different type of wood because I want a bit more of an interesting looking cabinet. But before we do that, I want to get a mix happening properly on the wood here. So we'll keep this second wood material there just to give the wood a little bit more interest. We do now, so we'll use this as a base and then we can look at the distressed one that we had before. I'm just going to move that up. And what we can do here is we can start playing with the mixing modes and see if we can come up with something interesting. We can dial it back too after the fact, but I'm just looking to get an interesting looking mix happening first. I don't mind that if we knocked it back. Same thing as the other one, I don't mind it if we knocked it back. Again, okay if we knocked it back. I don't mind that. That's giving us a bit of a distressed look, but not going over the top. But what we want to do is we do want to find the one here that yeah, it's this one I think. so many layers in this material. Finding the right layer is always a challenge. Andrew Luss says it could be if you walk in and it looks fine and the next time you walk in it's worn. That's an interesting idea. Sniper Girl says, quick question, does that mean you wouldn't want to work does that mean you wouldn't want to work under you? See how it is unsubbing? Well, that's not what, we actually still have meetings for the game studio, so everyone that works for on the game here, apart from the composer, the music composer who was in France, is actually a local person, so we're not getting work done, we're not having work done remotely, except for the composer, the music composer. We actually probably don't need this layer. Yeah, no, I don't think we need this layer here. What we can do is we can probably knock it back a little bit. No, not really. Again, I just have to go through these layers to find the one that I'm looking for. Yeah, not that one. Maybe this one. Like I'm actually going to remove this layer completely so we don't get confused. Let's just have a look at this one here. Just going to pull back a little bit. It just got a bit too much of a sheen happening here. So I just want to knock that back. Like I don't mind it catching a little bit of the light, but it was just a bit too shiny. Helpwood says, I'm sure he just got sidetracked and forgot to answer the question. What question? What am I missing out? Helpwood says it happens a lot with old people. Oh, or people who haven't had enough coffee. Well, that's true. I can cop to that. Not enough coffee. Sniper Girl says, I know Hellforge, you know me. Have to give him a hard time. She does. She always gives me a hard time. Android Lust says, Phil would snatch your mouse away and do the work himself. I'm a bit of a control freak, actually. I don't know if you guys have obviously picked up on that already, but yeah, I am. I'm a bit of a control freak. Not that I don't trust other people to do a good job, it's just that I know if I do it myself, it'll be exactly what I want. I am a bit of a control freak. A nice one, I would hope anyway. Helpwood says, speaking of mice, has anyone tried using one of those trackball thingies for 3D work? I've used one before. I don't like them. A lot of people do like them for 3D work, but I don't. I have used one before. Android Lust says, nope, but I do have a space mouse that could be used for 3D. Yeah, I have used them before, but I don't generally like to use them. Some people swear by them, but not me. Not for me. Smurf says, I knew a guy who used one, but I don't think I would like it. Sniper Echo says, I use a Wacom for everything, gaming included. You use a Wacom for gaming? Wow, you're hardcore Sniper Echo. Smurfberry says, I also knew a couple of guys with those sideways vertical mice, and those seemed interesting. Yeah, again, I've seen those. I haven't used one, but I have seen them. Hellpoid says to Sniper Echo, no wonder it takes 5 years to model a simple fence. Android Lust says, get a Wacom gaming chair too. Sniper Echo says to Hellforge, steady on, it's at least 7 years. Okay, so that's the wood. You don't want these two. I might just move this dirt layer to the top of the stack. And again, let's play with the mixing. See, we can take our time to get the material right, then we can create a smart material and we can just easily apply it to the rest of the kitchen. So even though we take quite a while to actually get our texture right, it'll speed up because we can just apply a smart material to everything. Okay, so what is in here that I don't like the look of? It's this one here. So let's see if we can't play with that a little bit. Let's change the mixing here. And if we can't get the mixing right, then we'll change the blend amount. I just wanted to add a dirt layer to give us a bit, just darkening up the inside of the cabinets a little bit.
Is it you, is it me, is it us, is it lust, is it trust, is it just 'cause I can't figure it out.
Let's do a save here though, because we haven't done a save since we started the project, so we better do that, because you never know. Kitchen, and we're going to call it what the asset is, which is kitchen, top left. Helpwood says I'm rock steady. Sniper Echo says to Android Lust, if only I could get it delivered. Euro says, has shipping become more consistent for you since it's all going direct from the EU now? To Sniper Echo. Helpwood says, I got a Death Adder right now that's pretty comfortable for my hand. I saw some discount mice with trackballs at a PC shop nearby. And I was just curious if they were actually useful for anything. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy a trackball mouse to do 3D, Hellforge. That's personal. Personally, I wouldn't. I have used one. They take a little bit of getting used to, but they're unnecessary. A mouse, any mouse will work just as well. At least that's what I found. So my advice would be save your money. Really. Sniper Echo says it's even worse, to be honest. Massive delays. For instance, getting a fridge is now 13 weeks out. Man, what is going on? That's insane. I mean, like, what if your fridge conks out and you need a new one? What are you supposed to do for 13 weeks? Eat out all the time, not buy any food but a house? That's terrible. Euro says, wow, that sucks. It certainly does. I kid you not, Sniper Echo says, that is terrible. Healthwood says, good morning. Good thing you live somewhere where you can just put the perishables on the balcony and they stay refrigerated. Euro says, company my bro works for, Seafood Products, is having a right time of it at the moment. That is terrible. Android Dust says, just out of luck. Wow, that is really bad. I think what we're going to do here is, I do want to make the top a different colour, so I'm going to group these together. Did you not group, or are you just taking a while? You're thinking about it. There we go. We're going to call this lighter wood, the group. And we're going to duplicate the group. Come on. And we're going to call this darker wood. And we're going to mask with color selection to the top, and we're also going to mask with color selection the bottom one to the bottom. And now we're going to go into the duplicate we made, and we're going to change the color, the underlying color of the wood, to something darker. Let's just get it at an angle, pardon me, where we can see it a little bit better. Still have that tickle in my throat. I'm just going to darken the top up a bit. I may also darken this one up a little bit as well. It's hard to see, but the top one here is, if I turn it off, we'll probably notice it more. The top one is a darker wood than this one here. So it's not a lot, but a little bit darker brown. This is the lighter brown, this is the darker brown. Just to try and separate the top up from the rest of the cabinet a little bit more. So it just looks a little bit more interesting. What we could also do is we could actually add a we could duplicate the darker wood, lay it over the lighter wood, and then add a smart mask if we wanted to. Do you think that the brown is too light for the kitchen cabinet? Because we could mix in a darker version of it with a smart material if we wanted to. I just don't know that it really needs it. Really, I don't really think it needs it. We want to avoid going too dark on the kitchen cabinets as well. Not sure. Not sure. Let's just do a quick save though. Sniper says, so I've given up on a new PC this year, no chance? Oh no. I'm just praying this old thing will hold out. Android Lust says, year just started, it could be better. Euro says, be quicker taking the car over and buying one on the continent. Sniper says, if only for that 5 kilometer rule we have in place. Oh no. Euro says, yeah, nightmare. For some reason I completely forgot about human malware for a second. Sniper Echo says to Euro, hopefully we'll all be in that headspace soon. Euro says, I've been isolated from humanity since last year because medications. Maybe I'm starting to lose my marbles. Helport says marbles are overrated. Android Lust says, I don't think it's too light, but what is that? But Flux isn't showing true colors at the moment? What do you mean, Android Lust? I'm confused. You've confused me, Android Lust. I don't think it's too light, but I'm not sure what that word is. Flux isn't showing true colors at the moment. Helport says, then again, I lose my mind decades ago. Euro says, people who still have marbles say that. Helport says, the price you pay of playing drums, drummers are all clinically insane. Smurfberry says, Flux is like the night mode on your phone or in Windows. It dims the screen and shifts to yellow. Oh. Oh, okay, I wasn't aware of that. Why are you using that program then? It's so bad. Yeah, why are you using it if it's so bad? Do you think it? I think it might be a little yellow. The wood could be a little yellow. Look, I will concede that. So what I might do is just jump back into the wood color here, and I might just knock some of the saturation out of it. This is the underlying one. We're not touching the top one at the moment. We could even go with a different... No, we probably don't want to do that. Do want to knock the saturation maybe. I want to avoid going too light though. Helpwood says, F-Lux is software thing that dims the brightness of the screen to make it easier to go to sleep at night. Oh, okay. Andrew Love says, I generally don't use the overhead light while on the computer while it's night. Oh, okay. All right. I'm just wondering if maybe. Just trying to work out a colour that I like. But again, I want to try and avoid going too dark on the cabinet. I wonder if we should do a blend. Maybe a blend will look good. Andrew Doss says, I disabled F-Lux if I need to do anything that's colour sensitive. Healthwood, that's a good idea. Healthwood says, maybe a silly thing to suggest, but if you're unsure about the colour, how about setting it up in the engine with rough blockout textures so you can get a better idea of the space and colour? I should be able to do it without having to do it in the engine. I mean, I've been doing this long enough that I should be able to visualise it in my head. But that's a good option. It's always an option to bring it in, because it will look slightly different once we bring it into Unreal anyway, just simply because the lighting in the engine is a little bit different from the lighting that you see in Substance Painter. I mean, it looks similar, but not exactly the same anyway. Elfwood says, looking at the asset like this in isolation might not give the best sense. That's true, but remember, we can always retexture, so we can texture it up the way we think it might look good. Then we bring it into the engine once we've got everything textured and we start putting it in the room. If we don't like it then it's easy to jump back into Substance Painter, reload it up, and we can play with our colours then. And all we have to do then is re-export the texture, and we can re-import it into Unreal without too much trouble at all. Just the texture, and it'll automatically update for us. So we can make adjustments that way. So once we have it set up in Unreal, if we want to change the textures, it's really simple to do. By just loading up this project, changing the colour, re-exporting the texture, and we can just re-import the texture into Unreal and it'll automatically update for us. So we can do it that way. That's probably going to be the best way to go. We'll save this and we might call it a day though, I think. I do want to thank you guys though for hanging out with me, being here and for watching. I do appreciate it. You guys make sure you have a good weekend, and if you're going to be going out, stay safe if it's because from the human malware, and also if you're living somewhere where it's snowing, because snow can be deadly too. We'll pick this up on Monday next week when I'm back again, 5 p.m. Pacific time in the US. Yeah, we'll go from there. So we'll finish the kitchen on Monday next week. Now, I think next week is the last 2 streams for the month, aren't they? Yeah. And remember, the last stream of every month is going to be just a chat stream. So we have a stream on Monday the 22nd and Tuesday the 23rd next week. Monday's stream, we're going to continue working on the kitchen texturing, but Tuesday's stream, because it's the last stream of the month, will be just a chat stream. So once a month, the last stream of every month, we do just chat. So that'll be Tuesday next week, but Monday next week, it will be texturing. You guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. Take care. And I will hopefully see you all again on Monday next week. See you guys.